Welcome to Wild, Women in Lending Determined to Make an Impact. I'm your host, Robyn LaVassaur. They say our biggest fear isn't being inadequate. It's being powerful beyond measure. In this podcast, I will share how to break through imaginary ceilings, lean into success, discovering your purpose, and understanding how to create the business and life of your dreams. From failures to triumphs and all the tactics in between, let's jump into the wild arena together. Welcome back to Wild with Robyn LaVassaur. This podcast today is called Lead with Leads. I actually should probably say lead with activity to create leads, but we're going to get right into the importance of leads and mentor, coach, numerous people that have very successful businesses essentially know that leads solve all problems. Leads solve all problems. We hate that statement in so many ways because I really believe that we like to put focus in all other areas, especially when there aren't enough leads. But the truth is, every time we are focused in other areas, it's because we are lacking enough leads. So how do you fix it? I will tell you, I would sit in a room full of loan officers and realtors for that matter, anybody really in sales, and they always know, especially if they're proud of it, what they're closing for that month. So if I said, how many are you closing? Most people right now, if you stop and think, can answer that quickly. I'm closing 6, I'm closing 7, I'm closing 18, I'm closing 21, whatever those numbers are off the top of their head. Now, if it's a low number, we're generally overcompensating. I think I might do this, but some could fall out, right? We're over talking it. When it's clear and exciting, it's like, I'm closing this many and I'm exactly aware of it. Here's what I found. In the same breath, if I said, how many leads do you have for the month? I cannot tell you how many people say, I have no idea. Ask yourself that right now without looking at anything. How many leads do I have for the month? And knowing that leads create the closings. Isn't it crazy that we don't go backwards and think to ourselves, if I just focused on the leads? So one of the things that I did is I quit paying attention to any numbers for the closings, trusting that I focused on the activity and the leads. It would create the closings that I wanted. I'm going to give you some really basic sales math, and that my dear friend Renee Rodriguez teaches in such a good way, the law of averages. And the truth is, out of all of the coaching that I've done, out of all of the years that I have personally been coached, the law of averages could not be more trustworthy or true. Law of averages really says that if I make a certain number of phone calls, I will receive a certain number of appointments. If I have a certain number of appointments, I will then get a certain number of leads, right? The outcome of the appointment. If you are going to meet with, as a loan officer, a bunch of agents, if you never meet with any agents and you never call any agents, where do you receive your leads? You might be paying for them online, but your law of averages then is going to go way down, meaning that the conversion rate for online leads we know is incredibly low. The conversion rate for a warm lead is much higher if you have actually a relationship started with agents. Where we lack is the desire to do the activity to create the leads. And then once we've done some and we create the number of leads, we expect the people that gave us all those leads to just stay on repeat. Here's a little secret. We ourselves are not very consistent. Coaching and teaching with sales team, you realize that, hey, Christmas comes every year, and yet so many people say it's natural for it to be quiet around the holidays. Oh, it's natural for it to be quiet right when school's getting out and graduation happens. Around the 4th of July, things seem to die down. Well, they do die down with certain demographics because some people always vacation around the 4th of July. Some people always take the holidays off, right? Some, not all. The thing is, the people possibly feeding you are the ones that take some of those times off, and you don't have enough who actually love to work through the holidays because you haven't created enough lead sources. I want to skip real quick to the number of leads, and then we'll backtrack to the number of sources that you need to create the closings that you want. And this is math that is tried and true on the law of averages. And so you always either have a lead problem or a conversion problem happening in your business. And if you ask yourself right now, do I have a lead problem or a conversion problem? Most people are saying, I have a lead problem currently. If you're doing a ton of activity and getting a ton of leads, but you're not closing a whole bunch, you have a conversion problem. Let's start with the basics. In order to create a 5 loan a month consistent business, 5 loans every month, I love it in sales in general because the moment we close 5 loans, we say to people, oh, I close 5 loans a month. And it maybe happened one time, or the average is actually 3 and we consider ourselves a 5. I want us to be really real. And what I love about data is data looks us right in the eyes and it doesn't lie. If it's tracked well, it's documented, it doesn't lie. And so, hey, why is that data so important? So that we can be real with ourselves of, hey, I'm getting this many leads. This is my current conversion percentage, and I know what I need in order to create the outcome that I want. So if you're trying to do 5 closings, you want 25 leads a month without fail. In this market, I cushion to 30, maybe even 35 because it's harder to qualify right now. So if you need 25, for simplistic reasons, 25 leads every single month, that really means about 1 to 1.5 a day on business days. That's your one job. Every single day is to say, I got a lead. Now, once you have the number of leads that you want to convert those leads at 80% credit pull. If you're getting less than 50 leads a month, you need to have a low barrier entry and a speed to lead yourself, meaning that it's like skipping the nurse, the insurance, the receptionist desk, everything, and getting straight to the doctor. Can you imagine being able to pick up the phone and get straight to the doctor? That's what it needs to feel like to your client. Straight to the doctor, ready to rock and roll. Let's do an app. Let's ask questions. Let's make this speed to lead, quick, easy. Like, I've got the application. I still want you to come in and meet me face to face, right? I'm going to create an experience from here. That's what we're trying to do. But you can't even get to all of those steps that sound way more fun than creating leads without creating the leads and having the activity. So on average, 5 appointments will get you 1 lead, right? 5 appointments will get you 1 lead. So if you're talking to people, you're going to get a lead for every 5 talk tos that you have. That should create the number of talk tos that you need, right? Hey, I'm going to double. It's basic sales math with the law of averages. If your averages are low, I'm talking to everybody and nothing's happening, then you've got to work on your communication skills. It's okay to say, I need work. Not the market is hard, not things are frustrating, not rates are too high, not I have too many shoppers. You need to simply work on your own skill development. When we point the finger at everything else and say the market is ultimately creating my outcomes versus my strategy, we're simply in a place of blame, right? We're in a place that says it's everything and everybody else's fault, instead of just saying, what can I control? How many calls am I going to make? How many talk tos am I going to have? And how am I going to create the number of leads that I need, the number of credit pulls and applications to give all of these people an experience during the loan process, and then rinse and repeat. That's the ultimate goal. So right now, it's almost halftime, or maybe it is halftime by the time you're hearing this. Halfway through the year, what did the first half of your year look like? How many leads did you get? What was your conversion like? And how do you create change at halftime? You ever seen those games in sports where somebody's down big time in halftime and all of a sudden they come back and they actually win? And what it was is somebody else took their foot off the gas and you came out with a new belief, a new focus, a new energy level. And all of a sudden things start going your way. Well, it's halftime right now, and leads and the generation of leads needs to start going your way. But that requires you to create the opportunities, to make the phone calls, to see the face-to-faces, to send a video, to send a slide dial to all of your past clients, to have your name. I always say, I want the Robyn LaVassaur name to be everywhere in everybody's mind. The moment their reticular activator thinks lending, real estate, questions about the house, questions about wealth building, questions about credit, questions about finances, questions about budget, questions about moving, questions about house improvement, home improvement. Robyn, 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 Robyn. If that's the way the world thinks, then my phone's going to ring while I'm also outbound dialing, and you create the business that you want. The opportunities are actually everywhere. The problem is our energy, our focus, our lead creation is not always there. And you yourself have to be everywhere, wanting to get a hold of that next lead, again, to create that experience, to help clients build wealth, make smart strategic decisions to where you become the only name that people want to refer in your market for lending needs. So go get those leads, win at halftime, share this podcast if it helped you. We'll see you soon.